Hello and welcome to All Indians Matter. I am Ashraf Engineer. According to a NASSCOM survey, India produces 15 lakh engineering graduates every year, but only 2.5 lakh land jobs in the core engineering industry. Another survey by Aspiring Minds showed that 80% of Indian engineers were unemployed in 2019. Between 2017 and 2018, only about half of the fresh engineers from All India Council for Technical Education approved colleges secured jobs. This is because the graduates are not skilled enough to work in the engineering industry of today. They are qualified but not employable. This is a problem that even N.R. Narayanamurthy, co-founder of Infosys, had pointed out a few years ago. He said engineering colleges in India are churning out only 25% of quality engineers, and nearly 80 to 85% of youngsters are not suitably trained for any job. How is the education system failing potential engineers and industry, and what is the way out?
All Indians matter.
We have on the show Dr. Vijay Wadhai, former principal and professor at reputed institutes like SP Pune University and Mumbai University. He has in the past been principal and professor at DY Patil College of Engineering, the Academy of Engineering, and Singad Technical Education Society. With more than 33 years of experience, he has a proven record in higher education, especially engineering. He is an expert in fostering innovation, incubation, creativity, experiential learning, and research, and has established a network of reputed institutes and industries for collaborative engagements. He has also established various R&D labs, centers of excellence, and innovation and incubation centers. He has to his name 21 patents, more than 250 research papers, and 8 books. He is today Executive Director at Astute Career Counseling Academy. Welcome, Dr. Vijay.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Vijay, there's been a lot of talk about engineers being unemployable and of the gaps in the engineering education system. First of all, why are engineers critical to any economy, especially an emerging one like India?
Yeah, thank you very much for the best question that you have asked and very relevant and it is apt questions with respect to the time. If you look at to from the economy perspective, specifically from engineering perspective and developing economy of India, there are six important points where we need to ponder upon as far as where the economy actually it means actually. These are the six components we generally consider for developing countries like that. One is the resource utilization. Second is the government policies and strategy, which are important for fostering this particular economy, which plays a very important role. Third is the environmental sustainability. Fourth is the adoptions of the science and technology. And first is the awareness about the what do you mean by the economy and what kind of the role every citizen has to be played. And are we aware about the which are the governing factors for the economy of India? And the engineer's role for the negotiations of this. These are the six factors which are generally the engineer has to look into from this point of view. So I would like to brief about this resource utilizations, for example. So engineers are mainly trained to, you know, identify the problem, design the problem, whatever the resources they are giving. Because I, being the chip designer, I know that. So resources are very small, short. If you look at, from the Indian economy perspective point of view also, if you look at one side, you will find that the population growth is very high. Some maybe, 2, 3, or 4 years down the line, we may cross the China also populations will be the top into the populations. One side, the population is high, working people will be more, but unemployability rate is also very high. So, in this context, if these human resources, you will also, if you would like to take, so if those resources are properly utilized, then definitely they can contribute for the economy of India. Consider second point as far as these engineers, if they are involved into the framing the policies and strategies of the government policies. So there are 30, 40 sectors. Everywhere there is a use of the technology. And one has to think from the facts and figure perspective point of view. You have said that, from the survey, with respect to the survey, who was doing this better survey. So based on the whatever the facts and figure, engineers are their analytical ability is quite high, and the giving the solutions to the whatever the facts and figure, I think that they should be adopted into the framing the policies and strategy. They are having the better minds to think into this. As far as this environment and sustainability, this particular, if you look at to the standard, the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals of India, because 17 goals, whole world is working around that. So environment factor is very important. If you look at to the today's Maharashtra Times, Srikant Bojewar was mentioning about the global warming. So these are the issues, where the lots of resources, who can plan this kind of the resources. So only engineer can properly study and really take care of and highlight the reasons why the environmental sustainability will be taken care. So the factors which are responsible for the global warming, only the engineers are having the better capacity to understand the impact and effects of this particular global warming. Otherwise, if you don't take care, the world will be impacted and adapted. Fourth component, as we say, that as far as this utilization of this science and technology, if you look at to the currently the whole technological changes are very rapid changes. Right now, if you look at to the futuristic changes, futuristic technology, if you look at, let us say the artificial intelligence, data science, cognitive, all this technology, the student and engineers has to adopt all this technology so that they can give the critical solutions to the critical problem, and then which will impact to the economy. So these are the important four factors where the engineers has to look into, so that you will get the better solutions and economy will be fostered. We are expecting this 3.31 trillion economy for the 2 years down the line, but I think that the engineers will play a very major role into this one as far as these four factors.
Yeah. I think what you've raised are very critical factors, because what you've outlined from policy to environment, I mean, these have a huge impact on the way the nation evolves, and obviously there is a fallout or impact on the citizens itself. So there's a very clear link between engineering talent and whether we can come up with solutions that the country requires or not. So I think that's a very, very important point that you made, Dr. Vijay. But here's the thing, when we talk about the quality of engineers that's coming in, how do Indian engineers who are graduating from colleges compared to internationally, let's say Chinese ones? I say China because it's our closest competitor.
If you look at to the performance wise is concerned, their grasping ability, their performance ability, their efficiency, their working style, their competency, their dedication, their commitment, if you look at in IT sector, they are doing extraordinary well. Even they are better than the USA also. So that's why we are considering, if you look at the SME sections, right? And specifically the advanced technology into the software domain, specifically they are doing extraordinary well as compared to the China, specifically you have asked. But as compared to the US, as far as the programming and coding, if you look at, the US engineers are little bit ahead, as far as this functionality and the correctness of the code. From that perspective, they are very good. But overall, from the commitment, dedications, competency, writing the processes and the systems or developing the systems, from that point of view, even though the Indians has got the better capacity, but the preciseness and the effective productivity where China leads. The capacity from India is better, because if you look at the number of the students going to from the China to the US and number of the students going from India to the US, if you look at, Chinese government has made the proper strategy. They support all the students, take the educations, come back, get the good educations, have a proper bachelor education, in-depth education, take the knowledge base, and then come back. Acquiring the knowledge skills, as compared to the Indians, they are better. Why? There is a definite evidences for that. If you look at to the number of the patents, number of the proper research reputed journal, so these are the things which actually quantifies where this Chinese are making it. As far as the manufacturability is concerned, manufacturing sectors is concerned, that is also very much supported by the Chinese government. The way that government supports for nurturing these engineers is very important, where here Indian side we are lacking. Even for supporting the students who aspires to go to for the higher education, better university. If you look at to the India in terms of this, the production of the engineers, let us say from the IITs, or the management side is the IIM, or medical side if you kind of the AIMS, right? So these are the premier institutions where we consider that these are the best institutions who produce the productive engineers, right? And they consider that they have got the best brain and they can definitely can generate the systems which actually which is the best one in the globe also. But if you look at from the Chinese side also, right? Chinese side, their precision of working, because we had many competitions and we found that as per the manufacturability and precision into the manufacturing, where the government is supporting, because and the load and the stress on the engineers at the in the China side, there is very low load because they can focus on to the science and technology, and during the experimentations and developing certain models, their mind is free and they can concentrate better and they can utilize their efficiency better way. And that is why I get this particular difference is there. Indian minds are better, but their environment which need to be nurtured so that their fullest capabilities should be explored. There we lack as far as the government support side is concerned.
Yeah, I think that's again a very, very critical point. And, Dr. Vijay, you've, in your capacity as principal of various renowned institutions, in your capacity as a researcher, you would have met many industry leaders, naturally. So, what do they mean when they say our engineering graduates don't have the skills needed for today's world? What exactly does that mean?
See, nowadays, if you're from the industry point of view, so because industry perspective, the industry people come here where I have already served as a principal. No, there are 400 industry used to visit my college and try to select the better humans and better the candidates. Their requirement is mainly that whether the student acquires the fundamental concepts of the science, technology, and mathematics, and the specified discipline where what they are studying. That is the basic fundamental they are looking for. Number one. Number two, whether they have the proper analytical skill, whether they have a designing skill, whether they have a testing skill, they have validation skill. These skills are very important from their perspective, from the productivity. If the new problem has been given to them, whether they are in a position to understand the problem, analyze the problem, can figure out the solution for that, can they give the solution for that, and can they design around the problems, and then can they work out with the other teams. These are the critical things which the industry looks from everybody. They give the immediately new problems and they ask for the whether you can give their solutions or not. If the students have got the proper professional experiential learning already had in this particular education systems, or they have worked with the certain problems or certain projects with the industry, then definitely they will be able to cope up with the whatever the questions they have raised and the skill that we are expecting. So what happened is the very few engineering colleges can provide all kind of this environment where the student gets that best environment to apply their critical creative mindset and the capability of evaluating the problem, analyzing the problems and developing the problem if their proper practice is being done, or if the project thorough project environment is provided along with the professor while they are working with. So apart from that, not only understanding the depth of the knowledge what they are learning into the whatever the streams that they have or the domain knowledge of that particular field, important is whatever the acquired knowledge, are they able to demonstrate that they are knowledge. So they are looking for this, whether your expression capability, your communication capability, your written communication capability, even though you are trying to present this whatever the projects that or the skill that you have acquired to demonstrate to the people, are they really concerned for the society? Is this particular solution that they have, it will be useful for some sections of this society, or will it be useful for the country at a large? I'm interested. So apart from that, mainly one parameter what the industry people are looking, whether they have really understood the ethics, integrity, passions, all this kind of the quality that particular as a holistic development personality they expect. that the 12 engineering graduate, what we as a in outcome based education system, they are expecting that these are the main program outcome. They would like to analyze this their qualities basically from the industry perspective. So these are, I think that these are the key important things which industry looks for as a better, competent, knowledgeable, skilled engineer. They are expecting.
Absolutely. So that, Dr. Vijay, then brings us to the question of the syllabus. Which skills would you say should be urgently incorporated into college syllabi?
Specifically, if you look at the Bloom's taxonomy, right, the higher order thinking and lower order thinking, where the critical skills, creative thinking skill and creativity where it is nurtured, which can be taken out with respect to that particular subject, those kind of the courses or those kind of the problems should be included into the syllabus, where these skills will be required to analyze the problems and so that they can give the better solutions. Because generally, rote kind of the learning, right, where only they have to mug up and just write the papers and give the examinations, this will not serve the purpose. So what the industry, they can give the any critical problems and they should be able to analytical skills and the creative thinking skill. These are the important two skills generally should be included into the syllabus, so that every problem that they give, that should be exhibited while working on to the various projects or the project based learning or program or the problem based learning. So these are the two. I think that if the problem based learning or the project based learning, if this is included into the syllabus, that will give the more age as far as the learning experience is concerned.
Dr. Vijay, there is a lot of talk today about startups. Now, there is a focus on skills obviously required by them in particular. Are those skills different in some way from what, let's say, a more established industry requires, or I should say the wider industry requires?
So when you think about the startup, sir, startup means as good as the running the industry. So it is the basics of this, building the business. And so there, not only the technical ability, analytical ability are seen here. But once would like to start his industry, so there are a lot of the multidisciplinary skills are involved. The management skills is required, financial skills are required. They have to understand. People management skill is very important, because he has to work with he has to start the startup with a few people, and then they have to take this to the next height. So completely understanding the problem, specifically design thinking skill is very important. As far as suppose anybody would like to start any product needs to be started, or any product on which he wanted to work out, he has to take the complete survey of that. He has to do the empathetic complete survey whether this product will survive or not, whatever the technology he would like to work with is, whether it will work into the field or not, that is seen. So this design thinking, if he has got the particular ability, he has to take the whatever the idea he has got in mind, he has to make this particular product, suppose it will be validated into the market. So this is the first step, that when he is trying to have this entrepreneur skill or the startup skills he want, right? If he would like, because see, only 7% of the maximum 3% of the startups are successful till then. That is why all kind of the business skill, startup skill, project management skill, then the financial ability, developing the finance, working with the finance, then project planning, as well as making this particular product ultimately viable to the market. That decision making ability, he has to have the leadership skill. Again, because only one person thinks that everything, he has to chalk out the vision mission of this particular startup. Just one industry tomorrow, one startup can be a big industry tomorrow. So all sort of the best skill, as a CEO or CTO or managing director of the company, whatever the leadership, that skills which are required in addition to the only technological aspects, whatever, if he like the one product, he has developed the product, he has done the proof of concept only, that is not sufficient. As with respect to the normal students, generally doing the proof of concept, yes, I have developed this particular machine, I have developed this particular product, and I have got the better skill to show and prove that my competency. So that is why in a few specific skill industry need for the specific task to be done into this as well. The product development is concerned where the industry is expecting. But here, not only the product, he has to think about the complete business. So lot many multidisciplinary skills he has to add up, and that is the difference where the startup skills and only the skills which are required to as a competent engineer, these are altogether different. So I think that perhaps this is the my response to the yeah.
Absolutely, and I think you hit the nail on the head. You mentioned leadership, for example. I was about to ask, what about softer skills? Leadership is one example, but critical thinking, people management, etc.
See, when you talk about the people management, means mostly he has to deal with the people. He has to manage the people. Suppose in the project management also, if the project management has to be done by the the team of the people, they have to understand the insight of that particular project. You know, and again, are they in sync with the vision and mission of the policy of the whatever the company? So now many people, different mind, but how they are harnessing their mindset for the one cause specified what the project management means, or the product development means, or the idea formulations means, or the product which is required for the betterment of the company means. So this leader has to ensure that whatever the intent of the particular project which has been given, all the people should be in sync with the philosophy and mindset what is required by that particular product which will excel into the company and which will change the face of the company. So leader has to ensure not only from the technology perspective, now the project point of view, the people who are working on to this one, he has to work on to the each and every, right from the program manager, product manager, or the project leader, or the engineer, junior engineer, he has to analyze all kind of the people mindset, so that everybody work for the common cause. Then and then this, so team handling, team building, and analyzing the team, their performance, evaluations, all kind of this, mentoring this particular team, guiding the team, coaching the team. These are all these leadership skills which are required, to for the people management or the project management point of view.
Absolutely. And one of the criticisms, Dr. Vijay, of engineering colleges is that they are more interested in filling seats than working on students' skills. Now, you've been principal of engineering colleges, so I think I'm putting you in a bit of a spot here. But what is your point of view?
So this is a very the question's very critical question, and it is not easy to answer. But I will try to give the answer. But very true answer, honest answer, I would like to give it. Say, as in industry, you know, industry is also concerned about the bottom line. Bottom line, my business, my bottom line, my revenue. Nowadays, what happened? Those the people, those who have started this education industry and the colleges and all these things, they are also thinking for the bottom line, because I know that I was interfaced between this side and that side. So more efforts are there because it has to ensure that the proper student strength with the merits, they have to be there, so that their ecosystems get sustainable. Like they are engineering college, suppose the entity has to be sustainable and totally, it is total based on the economy. The student fees comes and definitely their growth is there. So the mindset is there, but some of the institutions, some of the management are really quality driven. Where I work, fortunately, all the managements were really quality driven, and they have provided all the requisite infrastructure for the quality education. People, professors, learning management systems, teaching learning process, exponential learning, collaborative learning, all side of the platforms which were given. I myself have established the 10 center of excellences in each discipline, each department, because we were conscious, and as far as the establishing the center of excellences into the various disciplines, so that the churning out the whatever the productive out of each students are better. So as a principal's role, that once it is deployed the center of excellences, management supports. So it is not that all management doesn't support. So major people, those management who are really supporting to the quality of the educations, they will support to this one. But I think that you are right. The 20% of this total managements and this total, those who are owner of this particular engineering or other institutes, they are, really quality driven. And but those who don't care, then the other quality and the skills development, they definitely, the industry will also look the different way towards them. I think that this is a better optimized answer for that. We don't want to. It is like that. The quality,
Yeah,
the quality product, everybody would like that. Will be preferring for this.
absolutely. So you think there's enough industry exposure built into the syllabus, or you think there should be more?
Right now, All India Council of the Technical Educations and UGC have taken care now, and they have made it every student should have the proper internship. Where I was operating, more over the 4,000 students in each wherever I work. So all were forced to go to the industry and take the proper internship there. Number one. So then again, with respect to their discipline, I myself have understood the importance of connecting to the industry. Not only we have sent the student for the internship there, we had 350 industry. I myself have collaborated with this institute to give the better exposure to the student. So what happened? They get the exposure to the what is the real time experience of working onto the real time project into the industry. Most of the CEOs and CTOs of the company I invited to my campus premises to, to actually what is the market needs, what is the skills market needs, what are the which are different projects they are doing, and they are exposed to the students. So students are made, you know, to work on onto their project. So Volkswagen and Mercedes Benz, and the automotive, those the mechanical engineering students, they were working. So we have given the real time exposure to them into their industry. Wherever I worked in the Divai Patil College, and I would be proud, I can say that whatever the car we have manufactured, it was number one in not only in India, but they were a South Asian region completely. The car was, number one. Means the students have developed this particular car, which works onto the all-terrain vehicle kind of they have developed and got the first prize across the complete at an international level. So this happened because of this Volkswagen. We have worked. They have worked with the Volkswagen team. So actually working with the industry people, that makes sense because, and this is the, I think, the applied kind of the education is there. Proper experiential learning is provided to them. If the industry people, their engineers, product engineer, technological engineer, chief technology officers comes and interact with the student, what is needed for the innovative product development, I think that is the right way of approach of, giving the exposure to the students while working with the industry. But I feel that sincerely that as you rightly said, the industry skill not only skill to be adopted, but they should be actually working onto the industry, working with the people of the industry. And sometimes it happens, sir, that the students better perform than the engineers in the industry also, because 2 years before the line they are student, 2 years after that they are the industry people. So some students are really extraordinary as far as giving the solutions to the various products of the with respect to the applications is concerned.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
industry exposure is must.
Extremely, yeah. Let's talk about faculty for a second. I was reading a report and it says that there's an issue at the faculty end too, that most of the full-time teachers do this work because they want to earn a living, livelihood, and not because there is any real passion for engineering. Has that been your experience too?
You are right. Always there is a 80-20 rule. There are 20 to 30% people are real passionate for the teaching and giving the experiential learning to the student, giving good knowledge to the students. And because of this, environment there, and sometimes that's why the vision, policies, strategies, and processes which are very important. And if the systems is properly set there as per the education, quality education's teaching learning process are properly set, I think that 80% of the faculty, are into the same driving mode. They are into the system and they can give the better productivity as far as the teaching learning is concerned. So only 20% of the people who could not have exposure to the industry or exposure to the world or happening, they feel those are secured sometimes by the UGC. They feel that nah, I need not have to do anything. But they can survive, but they cannot progress. So this is the difference. Some people are just for the sake of survival, but some people are there. They want that sustainable growth. They should be there. So, but management is a same for all. So they provide the proper solution environment to everybody. But some people really, I think that 30% people picks up very fast and work very nicely day and night, as the industry, the people actually better than the industry sometimes. Very innovative work they do. You know, the the design of the 2G, 3G, 4G, if you look at, has been done into the university only. The product, when it has got to the, then industry makes the money out of that. I worked onto the cognitive radio, which is the 5G technology. The spectrum analysis, spectrum, the sensing techniques, then the security, which are the standards are built into the university. The impact of the standards which is there into the industry. So this side also, the professor side, they are also very good. But they need to be, once again, because there was a HR meet there some point of time there here, all the good industry HR people were there. And I made a point there is, sir, if you take a few hours of your time of industry and you come and sit with the academic people, academic professor, their mindset will be changed. There is a need that, they should be also mentored, nurtured, and given right kind of the environment so that they will also understand why we are doing this kind of the work of teaching. But surely there are certain segment, certain people, they are fed up because they don't get this kind of the stimulating environment around that. But if the industry involvement is much more, they also get excited to work with the people, because I have worked with the 350 industry in one organization. I involved everybody. So that's why the environment changes later on. So
Absolutely.
this is the way that I look at it.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, absolutely right, Dr. Vijay. And I was actually going to ask you next, what more can industry do to work with academia, to work with colleges and institutions? So, other than internships itself.
Exactly what I was coming to the same point, that I told that every industry, that there should be a proper strategies and policies by the government. So they here the government role is there, sir, and government doesn't come into the picture. That is why. Then they say that it is an industry problem. No, the government should frame a policy and make a mandate to the industry. Gentlemen, you are into the automotive sectors or the agriculture sectors or into the civil sector or any kind of the sectors that the company is serving, right? Or the software sector. Those people should, they should make compulsory to have a design house in collaboration with them here into the industry, or manufacturing setup, or prototyping setup, or let us say the 3D printing, if this is there. For example, we are working into the 3D printing. Industry should give a good lab which is concerned to their industry. They should set up the one lab, minimum one lab, in one department. So, and there should be a proper deputation of the people from the industry side, and it should be the part of the syllabus. Again, as you have mentioned, ask the same question. Industry should set up one laboratory which is concerned to them, and choose the better college, so that other than a competitive environment will also be nurtured into this. Set up, choose the college, have a proper setup laboratory, give the subsequent whatever the resources which is required for performing the practicals and other things, allocate the manpower in what way the work should be there, hardware, software development, whatever which is required there, depute the manpower and ask the professors along with the team of the student. So with respect to the every department, if it is done in every college, or the better college, initially you can have a practical demonstrative kind of the example, then surely whatever the industry needs, similarly kind of the skill set will be developed in the students. And all, because see, in a cloud computing domain, we had a good collaborations with the various industry, cognitive computing, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning. These people who were working into this various domain, they have donated the labs to us. Their engineers were used to give the problem to our students, and we used to give the solutions and working on to the real-time project. If this continuous environment is nurtured in every spectrum of the college, which is considered as a grade, A plus grade, kind of NAC grade, or the NBA grade colleges, once their gradation is there, you should make a compulsory that industry should be, should be made to the compulsory to the industry also, as well as to the college also. Okay, gentlemen, you join hand with the industry and work, and it is a compulsory, and then your credit point will be allocated to it. So because this is the difference between the international educations when you consider into the Germany or the USA or the best, the top 100 or 200 in universities in the world, they go with this experiential learning while working with the industry. So this is hope so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dr. Vijay, you had decades of commitment to academia in engineering, research, innovation, and so on. So that brings me to the question that I ask all my guests at the end of the show. Why do you do this work?
Because fortunately, I have been nurtured into the education system for the 34 years. I understood the value of giving the knowledge to the society. And I, being the spiritual person, spirituality means that before you die, you work for the society or for the people. This is the ultimate truth of the life. This is second law of nature, law of giving. There are seven law of nature. That first law is a law of pure potentiality. Second law of giving, law of karma, law of dharma, law of attraction, law of abundance, and law of detachment. So if this time of the thought process that I have acquired throughout the life because of my spirituality which is within me, which works for the humanity, and we should have a very clear bias. This is the given, this has been given by this education system to me. 34 years I was into the nurturing the students' career, and that is why it is a time that I have to think of that really I have to work for this education systems because which has given. So now it is the time to give back to the society, and I feel that education is a pious environment. There is no unnecessarily enmity, politics, and other things. Your life is very nice, very conducive environment, very nice people around there. There is, as compared to the other field, there is no corruption. I mean to say, so corruption is not into the financial corruption. There is no corruption in the mind also. If our mind is very pure, then we can serve in a better way to the ultimately the society. This is the essence of the life that I understood, and that's why I'm continuing into this particular field. Now I have shifted to this international level, but the mindset is same: serve the people in a better manner, and whatever the better quality that I can, with the inner potential that I would like to serve to the society and humanity as a whole. So that is the mindset that I have thought of to during the whole journey of 34 years.
Dr. Vijay, engineers are critical because so much of human advancement is closely linked to what they do. If India has to sustain its economy and growth, then the skills being imparted to our engineers will play a crucial role. So, thank you for shedding light on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all for listening. Please visit allindiansmatter.in, that's ALLINDIANSMATTER.in, for more columns and audio podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter at Ashraf Engineer, that's ASHRAFENGINEER, and All Indians Count, that's ALLINDIANSCOUNT. Search for the All Indians Matter page on Facebook. On Instagram, the handle is All Indians Matter. Email me at editor@allindiansmatter.in. Catch you again soon.